All right, today our learning target is going to be I can tell time to the nearest minute. Please follow along with this video to learn how you can do so. As we did in class telling time to the nearest 5 minutes, we're going to first focus on the hour. So I'm going to recognize that the hour hand, although hours are longer, is the shorter hand. So I'm going to follow this up. I can see that it's past 11. So now I'm just going to pause and take a moment to write that down because I know my time is going to be 11 something. From there, I now want to focus on the minutes. And differently than looking at each one of these as a group of 5, I can start right here at 0. I can count over, and I can see that the minute hand lines up mostly with 1 minute. So this would be 12:01 would be how we say that correctly. So this is 12:01, and I can record that time down. So this is 11:01. Let's take a look at another example. So we're going to do the same process as we did before. We're going to first start with the hour hands, and I can see that this hour hand is not quite to the 1, but it's past the 12. So I'm just going to pause and take a moment to write that down right now. So I can see that that is 12 o'clock. And from there, I'm going to now find out how many minutes I have. And we remember that each one of these increments is 5 minutes. So I can count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And I stopped here because I want to focus on, now that I know this is 35 minutes right here, then I can count by 1 minute until I get to where my minute hand is lined up. So now I'm going to count by 1 minute, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So this would be 12:39. All right, we're going to move on to another example. Although on this example, I want you to take a moment and solve this on your own before I solve it. So this would be a great time now to pause the video and solve it on your own. Now watch me solve to see if your answer was correct. So the first thing I'm going to do, like I did before, is I'm going to figure out what hour is. And I find the hour hand is the smaller hand. I can see that it's past the 10, but not to the 11, so I know that it is 10 o'clock. The next step that I need to do is find my minutes. So I'm going to count by my 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now that I've gotten as close as I can to the biggest increment of 5, I don't want to count another 5 because then I'd have to go back. So I know that this is 25, and from there I can count by 1 minute, 25, 26, 27. So this is 10:27. If you made a mistake, this would be a great time to stop and analyze how you made your mistake. Let's take a look at one more example. So again, I'm going to have you pause the video right now, and I want you to solve this on your own. Now let's check your work. So the first thing I'm going to do, and the first thing you should have done, is find out the hour. So I can see that the hour hand is just past the 7. So I'm going to take my time. I'm going to write that down now. I know it's going to be 7 something. From there, I'm going to count the minutes in groups of 5, 5, 10, 15. Now that I'm there, I'm going to count by 1, 16, and I can see that that's lined up right there. So I know that this is 7:16. If you made a mistake, check and see where you made your mistake and learn from it. We're going to take a look at 2 more examples. Again, pause and solve on your own. Now that you solve that, I'm going to go a little bit quicker now. So I can see my hour hand is 1 o'clock. So I write down 1 o'clock. I'm going to go by my minutes in groups of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37. 1:37. Let's take a look at the final example before you practice this on your own. So go ahead and pause. All right, let's solve this one. This one's a little bit more tricky. You first want to look at that. It looks like it's almost to the 8, but because the minute's not quite past 12, I know that it's not going to be in the 8th hour yet. So I know that it's just past the 7th. So I'm going to write down my 7th hour. And then I can count by minutes. I could do a few things. I could count by my 5s and do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then go 51, 52, 53, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. But I also know that an hour has 60 minutes, so I could just go back 1 to get to 59. So I know that it's 59 minutes. And that is how you tell time to the nearest minute.